So, good afternoon, everyone. Our topic for today is models of educational management, and it is by Devika Kurup and Amala Kurup. My name is Amala Kurup. Just for the introduction purpose, uh, uh, before we go into the different models, let's first understand what educational management actually means. Just a quick recap. So, it simply refers to the process of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the educational institutions. And just like a company has managers and systems to ensure smooth functioning, an educational institution also needs a management structure to just maintain some discipline, achieve academic goals, and ensure the coordination among staff and students. Moving forward, we have the first model, formal model. The first model, this model views an educational institution as a well-structured organization where everyone has a clear, defined role and authority, and it also works like a hierarchy. So, for example, the principal is at the top, and it is followed by the heads of departments, the HODs, and then the teachers, and then finally the students. So the idea is that decisions are made through official channels. Authority flows from the top to the bottom. So all communication and instructions, they follow a proper chain of command. So when moving forward to the structures, the features of formal model, here first we have the point of clear hierarchy. So when we look into the hierarchical system, it means that everything follows rules, everything is formulated, everything is in the way of policies and regulations, not personal preferences. So the focus is efficiency and also accountability and discipline. If we look at the example, if we think about an example, we can say that if a principal is providing some kind of explanation to the HODs, or imagine a school principal assigning tasks to teachers according to the policy guidelines, and a university following UGC staff for curriculum design. And that's how formal model it works. And if we move on to the pros and cons, first I'll quickly explain the advantages. First, it provides a clear structure that everyone knows their responsibilities. It ensures accountability because work and authority, they are well defined, and it helps maintain some consistency and coordination within the institution itself. But apart from that, we also have limitations as well. For example, the system, it can become too rigid and bureaucratic, meaning there are like too many rules and less flexibility, and teachers might feel excluded from the decision making process because authority lies mostly within the higher officials. And sometimes this rigidity, it can stifle some creativity and also innovation. And next we move on to the collegial model. This one is completely different from the formal one. So if the formal model focuses on the hierarchy and authority, the collegial model focuses on teamwork and participation. So there's a contrast between both of them. So the collegial model, it actually comes from the idea of shared governance, which dates back from to the medieval European universities. So back then, faculty members shared authority in teaching and learning matters. Even today, we see this in university senates, faculty boards, and staff councils as well, where academic professionals, they just jointly make all the decisions. So in the collegial model, the power is shared among the staff members, and decisions are made collectively through discussion, cooperation. And this particular model, it values trust, respect, and collaboration as compared to the formal one. And the leadership here is democratic. That means everyone's voice matters. So let's say, for example, if teachers and administrators may form committees to decide on curriculum changes, or a department might hold meetings where all teachers contribute ideas before making some kind of a decision. And this model, it creates a sense of belonging and responsibility because everyone participates in the decision making. So in collegial system, leaders like principals or heads of departments, they are facilitators and they are not commanders. So their job is to coordinate discussion and help the group reach some consensus. So this style is connected with some transformational leadership. So if we move on to the features which we have covered in the explanation itself, it's like a shared power. Everyone has all sorts of power and a voice to speak for themselves, and it's a consensus decision, and there is a encouragement for collaboration. Everyone works together for it. And let's move on to the pros and cons. So moving on to the advantages first. So when we look into it, it encourages participation, which is very much important, and it motivates the staff as well. It builds some trust and unity among the teachers as well. And because it allows for exchange of ideas, it often leads to some kind of innovation as well and some creative solutions rather than just normal formal model. And when we look at the limitations or the disadvantages, since decisions are made through discussion and consensus, it can be slow, it can be time consuming because of the discussion model. And it may not work well in larger institutions where like too many people are involved. And it also requires some trust and cooperation. Without that, the system cannot easily fall. So, yeah, I would like to just summarize quickly that the formal model, it focuses on the structure, control, and also efficiency, and it's rule based, and it is inspired also by a lot of theories, bureaucratic theory and administrative theory. And in real life, most educational institutions use mix of both. So for instance, schools follow official rules, formal rules, but also they encourage teacher committees as well, which comes under the collegial model.
Today, I will be going to talk about the models of education management. So, exploring structural culture and political models. This topic is to understand how schools are organized, how school culture is built, and how different stakeholders influence decision making. This is presented by me and Pradipta. And as a teacher, I'm working in Narayana from 4 years as a teacher. So, by looking for that, what are the things I have observed? I have tried to collaborate in this PPT. Introduction to educational management. Educational management refers to the planning, organizing, then directing and coordinating educational process to ensure that smooth and effectively, the functions of a school. So there will be no problem while performing any task in the school. It is just about the rules. It is about the creating learning environment where students and teachers can grow. Different school functions differently because they follow different management approach. So every management have a different approach. Every management have a different aim. According to that, the school follow different different educational management things like planning and organizing. The three significant models we will discuss are structural model, cultural model, and political model. So each model contributes to the functioning of schools in its own meaningful way. Mm, So first we will talk about the structural model. So it is an overview of the educational models, understanding the key management approaches. So structural models, so it's focused mainly on the organizational structure of the school. This includes clear hierarchy, like in the school, the clear hierarchy from started begin from the the principal, the teachers, and then students. So sometimes after the principal, the vice principal or the coordinators will be there, then the teachers and then the students. Defined rules and procedures. Proper distribution of the roles and responsibility is already given and they have to follow the same. In this model, schools functions like a well organized system where every one person knows their role, their responsibility, and the same manner they work for the same. Uh, okay. So, example, if we talk about the principal, makes the administrative decision. When we talk about the vice principal, she makes sure that the teachers who is under to her vice principal or a coordinator. She will make sure that the teachers who is under her will make a lesson plans, manage classroom, whether she will make sure that the knowledge which they are giving to the student is meaningful or not, it is worthy or not. She will make sure of that. Students follow like academics and the behavioral expectations. Then the structures help to maintain discipline than the systematic operation in school. Let's talk about the cultural model. The cultural model in the cultural model, schools are viewed as a community and shared values traditions among the students and the staff. Here, the school is not only uh, a place to study, but a place where relationship build. Student makes the friends also. Yes, students feel like emotionally connected with the teachers, with their friends also. Teacher act as a guide. The person who is guiding the student and a role model also become a role model where the student likes to follow the teacher, see how the teacher is teaching. Now, being a pre-primary teacher, my always student they observe how the teacher is behaving. They try to inculcate the same thing in them after going home. Okay, this model is emphasizing belonging, identity of positive environment, and which together contribute to the healthy atmosphere. When we talk about the political model of the dynamic, negotiation highlight how the stakeholder interactive influence of educational policies, decision making, ultimately how the outcome is coming. So this is all about the same. Uh, okay. So this I have already introduced the cultural model explained I have, and let's go to the building educational culture. So celebrating traditions and rituals. So uniform. First, we will talk about the uniform. The when we talk about the school, the uniform is very important. So uniform fosters a sense of a belonging, and among the students, that like nowadays, if the school days are school is working for the 5 days. Example from the Monday to Friday. So in our school, we give 2 days as a PE lectures. So whenever the PE lectures will be there, example if it is on Wednesday and Friday, the child will wear the PE uniform, and other days the child will be wearing the school regular uniform. So that belongingness is there in my smaller kids also. They know on which day which uniform to be worn, and they try to follow the same as teacher directed. Okay, when we talk about the assemblies, so morning assemblies is are very important through a child point of view, because what are the things that will inculcate in child, that like communication, reinforce the values, develop collective identity. The child will be able to take so many information in the assembly. Example, in our assembly, we though they are very 5 to 6 years of age gap, 5 to 6 year age is that the student, and they are reading the newspaper. Though we are helping them, but they are trying their level best to go home, collect the news, come to school, and they talk to teacher. Okay, teacher, this is the news we I have taken from newspaper. I want to share with my friends. So like not nationally but internationally, they are trying to connect through the newspapers. So they are sharing in the assembly, and the other children also came to know about the same. So when we talk about the sports day is very important. Like now, it encourages the participation, build team spirit, develop school pride also. Next, so this share activities create a feeling of we belong here. Let's talk about the strengths and the limitations. So when we talk about the strengths and limitations, explore the cultural models impact on our education. So strength of a unity. So promotes unity and positive relationship. Then improves motivation among the student and staff. Then encourages the cooperation and the collaborative learning. Then a limitation, when we talk about the limitations, cultural models can relate rigidity, So sometimes tradition may resist changes. Some people will say, no, we should follow this only, which is we used to follow from earlier. So this will come. That innovation can be slow. Innovation, little bit like no new the new joinees who will come, the teacher. There will be a limitation for the teacher also to be creative more. New ideas may be questioned, and sometimes what happened because of people are attached to existing culture, they don't wanted to go with the new ideas. Okay, so I have been through this, so I know this. Okay, so therefore while culture strengthens identity, and it should also remain close to the improvement. Next. So, managing cultural changes. So, aligning initiatives with the community values, the school have to introduce changes such as new teaching methods, then technology or evolution patterns. These changes must be aligned with the school values. This means like communicating purpose clearly. The teacher should also know what the aim is, how it is going to help the students. That involve teachers and students and parents. So not only the teacher should be involved, but also the parent should know, the student should know how it is going to affect, like in a good way or in a bad way. Both should be discussed with the teachers, parent, and the students. Then ensure the new practice support inclusive and diversity. A balance, which I feel a balanced approach helps the school to involve without losing its core identity. The identity should not be changed, but the new things should be kept on adding for the improvement in the student. Mm, okay. The political model. So the political model highlights the school are influenced by different groups of people who have a different opinion and interest also. The stakeholders include like the government bodies, and school management committees, teachers will be there, parents will be there, and students, because they are the part of the school. So this will be happen in a political model. Decision making becomes a negotiation rather than a simple command. So in this, the principal can't take only the decision, but she or he have to take the opinion from the management also, how it is going to happen. And in this thing is there in my mind, should I go for or not? So this will happen. So decision makings, as we have said, that it will be negotiable. Every point will be not get approved, and therefore leadership is the model requires like no communication, decision. The team meeting should be taken, and the compromise to arrive the mutual beneficial decision. That is very important. Next, strengthen the criticism of the political model. So, encourage representation of the diverse viewpoints, promotes democratic decision making, and the criticism when we talk about can lead to the conflicts and disagreements also. Decision making may take a longer time. Because few people have other points also to discuss.
Last
They
2 minutes
feel
remaining,
that
Rushali, out of 15.
okay. Okay, so summary and the conclusion. So when we talk about the integration models of effective, management, the cultural and political work together in education management is very important. The structure model ensures that disciplines and organization, and the cultural model builds positive relations and values. The political models balance the stakeholders and involvement in a negotiation. So, a successful school integrates all these models in a balanced way to create a good environment where the learning, growth, and collaboration also happens and the flourish. It is very important for the student also, because all the things we are doing for our upcoming, upcoming
Vrishali,
children.
stop now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.